Hello everybody and welcome to an unboxing of something that is long overdue, originally meant to release before Christmas, held back due to a production error, according to Night Models. This is the Batman 3rd Edition Starter Box, the Back to Gotham box. It is gigantic, it is very heavy, it contains a lot of stuff, and I'm honestly genuinely curious of the quality that we're about to see when we open this. I'm very curious if the rulebook is the same as the one they released digitally, which has errors in it. It has phantom rules that don't have any clarification. We shall see. Let's get this outer cover off, first of all. Ugh, there we are. And let's flip it open and see what we've got. Okay, so to start with, lots and lots of tokens. Measuring sticks, I think, as well. And some of the push-fit scenery that you saw on the... down there. Various sideshow attractions, Ferris wheel with Joker's face on it, some miscellaneous stuff like a fortune booth. Is that a reference to Big? Oh, that is a thick sheet of cardboard. Look at that. That is a lot of widgets. Widgets and doodads. Now I should point out also, when I pulled this out of the box, a random base fell off. I don't know what it's from, because it's like one of the old school bases. I don't know if it fell out the box. So we might have a look at more in detail at what's in that cardboard, because there is some of the new counters there. And then you've just got... you've got bags. Why is some of this Sprue in bags and some of it not? Why is this just sitting here? Okay, well in this we have the rulebook and the... it says start here. And the one that tells you what all the new traits are. We've got our cards down there. Is this Deadshot? No, sorry, that's Deadshot. So they have apparently upgraded their resin. It feels different, I'll say that. Don't know if it necessarily feels better, but it definitely has a different... you'll have to take my word for it, but it feels... I don't know, like, not as coarse, I guess I would say. Okay, so yeah, that's the new Deadshot that comes in the box. This is the various heads. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's more bendy. Interesting. I'm not seeing any imperfections in lots of little things, like there's hats there, various heads. There's no broken knives. So that does bode well for like the new thin stuff, which was always bad, honestly. Why some of the sprue is not bagged, I don't know. That's the new Harley Quinn. There's a lot more flash to get rid of that will actually have to need to be snipped, because you can't just bend it. This is cops that come in the box. And this is extra gibbles if you want to use the new gigantic bases for bosses, which I don't. Big bag of bases, so that's sealed, so I have no idea where that spare base that fell out is. You can see the giant bases there. That's meant to be the base that leaders are on now if you want to. You don't have to. Obviously we've got the dice. We have a bag filled with more bags. And inside those bags, it looks like there's some of the miniatures. I don't know. It just is. Then we have a separate bag with one of the new clown henchmen. I don't know. Now we have a bag filled with bags, filled with torsos of various police officers. What a bizarre way to package something. What have we got here? This is the new Joker by the looks of things. Yeah, because there's like a variation small base, there's the huge base. So he's all in here, so I get that. That's a bag of everything related to the new Joker. Which probably means the new Batman is here somewhere. Is this the new Batman? Yeah. So that is the new Batman. I'll probably, I'll pause the camera and take a look at the resin, closer up to see if I can find any imperfections, etc. But I'll do that in a second. And then in here, that is the Gordon, because that's the bat signal you can model them with. Honestly, I'm going to keep the bat signal separate and just use it as scenery, but it's an option. So then we have a lot of cards. So these are a mixture of the new stat cards, a mixture of the new objective cards, event cards, suspect marker cards, and whatever else you use in 3rd edition. I have read the rules a couple of times, but you don't really you've got to play the game to get to grips. So I'm also going to pause the camera and take a quick read of these to see if there's any errors in them. I'm not going to sit and go through every single card, but I actually really like the quality of the 3rd edition cards, because we've seen the 3rd edition from the Red Hood Joker. I like the quality of card they've gone with. It feels sturdy. It feels like they wouldn't break the first time you drop water on one by accident, for instance. Stick to the plan. Why is there hidden stat cards back here? Oh, I guess it was splitting the heroes and villain cards. Yeah, that's what they were doing. Actually, no, there wasn't, because there's Joker ones back here. So, let me just get all the hero cards separated. I'm going to read those. So, there's lots of cards. I'm not sure how I feel about how card heavy deployment types 3rd edition is going to be. Well, obviously, it's a case of trying it and seeing. Alright, so I'm going to do a break here, and I'm going to take a look at the cards, I'm going to take a look at the rules, and I want to see if they've corrected anything from the digital version, because the digital version might have been done before the error in production was noticed. Let's find out. Alright, I took a brief look through the cards, and they seem okay. I've not looked through every single one. This booklet is just a very basic, here's how you play with introductory steps. It takes you through a couple of tutorial games for how the new things work, placing the suspect markers, and building up to a full version of the rules, which is good. What isn't good, though, is that Night Models now expects you to only use the cards when referencing what special skills characters have. There's also the assembly instructions. What I mean by that is, for instance, if we take the new Batman card, he's got these rules, you flip the card over, which is fine, and then the rules are here. But if you want to know what the new definition for old rules are on old 2nd edition cards, you're going to have to apparently print off the PDF, because it isn't included here. I thought maybe it was just one thick rulebook. Nope, this is the rulebook. It goes into detail about everything. You know, there's also a couple of new miniatures, like that is a Batman miniature I don't recognise. There's Batman riding a horse for some reason somewhere. Hang on. But this is the rules in depth. Where is he? I definitely saw Batman riding a horse somewhere. Oh yeah, there. I don't think that's a year 1 reference. Sorry, year 0, because he's not wearing the gear he had in year 0. But either way, yeah, this is going into depth for all the rules of how to play a game, but it doesn't go into any of the rules about the stats on the back of old 2nd edition cards, which now have incorrect definitions on the back of them. Also, this is apparently exactly the same as the digital version, sans the extra gallery and stuff being on the back. I don't think there's any other new miniatures back here. But for instance, we go to the... which page is it? The one everybody knows about. The one that is not defined anywhere. No, I don't know where it is now. But if you have the dodge rule, there is no definitive explanation for what that means. And that's still true in this printed version as it is in the digital version. It just says... I mean, I want to find the actual bit so I can say it verbatim. Somewhere here. Dodging. Some special rules such as dodge or acrobat allow the target to evade ranged attacks. These rules typically force an attacker to deduct a die from their attack roll. It doesn't say you deduct 1, it doesn't say you deduct 50. It says typically you deduct dice, as in plural, not die. There is no definitive definition for what acrobat or dodge does. They all reference each other and reference back to this rule, which is vague and isn't definitive. Nobody knows how dodging works, because it hasn't been defined. And that is still true in this printed edition. You know, on the upside, the English is better in the rulebook. I haven't gone through it with a fine-tooth comb, this or the digital version that was available, but for the most part, it seemed better. Still omissions, because that is an omission not due to mistranslation. That's just an omission, which is unfortunate. So now I'm going to take a quick look at the sprue and maybe the cardboard and check in with that. So I picked one of the bags of sprue at random. This big bag contained 2 smaller bags which had these parts in them, which looks to me like it's probably like 90% of the Batman miniature, but I don't know where the rest of them is. It must be in one of the other bags. It's got lots of flash that needs to be removed. It looks like it will fit together better, assuming you do it correctly, which is debatable. Yeah, it doesn't look like much. I guess I just picked a bad bag, but I'm not honestly sure which bag has the rest of them. I'm having a quick look. That's clowns. That's police officers. Yep, police officers, Bullock, etc. We know it's not in the ones that didn't have a bag. Okay, now I'm actually getting concerned. Where's the rest of my... But hang on a second. I own one bit of Sprue with all the various gibbles. That's Joker's head, and I don't know how in focus it is, but that's Batman's head, and I think that's the only bit missing because this is based on the McFarlane design of Batman, so he's all cape. So it looks like, yeah, that head goes on there, and then the rest of that you kind of sculpt the cape around him. Not the clearest, but hopefully the instructions will settle things there. So all that remains is to look at the cardboard. Let me just clear this out and we'll take a look at that. So our first sheet of cardboard, measuring sticks, parts of one of the stalls, the fortune teller, but it's actually Joker, which is kind of nice looking. Oh, there's a bit of paper between each layer. The next layer. Oh, that's a nice touch. Batman and Robin. Again, some more icons. That is the Ferris wheel. Plus, presumably suspect markers. Not 100% sure what they're all for yet. Open 24 hours. We'll see about that. Also, there's a lorry going past. Apologies if you can hear it. A new flame template. Some more templates. No paper on this one? Oh, there was paper. Hashtag? What is that? There's a hashtag written on that one. And then finally, no, not finally, the rest of the Joker stuff. If I've ever wanted a collection of thick paper, I've definitely found it. So many markers. It's like the Dragon Balls. Oh, no paper between the last two. So that is it. Again, most of this is scenery, but there is also a lot of icons to get used to. Oh, Batman is a little plushy Batman is being hung there on there. So this, in general, is what you get in the 3rd edition starter box. I'm going to have to dig deep into this, check all the sprue, check all the cards, read the rules. I'm very disappointed they expect you to print out the new clarification on all the old rules. They didn't include it, or maybe they did and I just didn't get it in the box, who knows. I got one free base, if that counts for anything. So, I might put some final thoughts in a comment on the video if there's anything egregiously bad that I discover after filming this. But for those of you who just wanted to look at what is in the box, you can read the rules for free on the Night Models website. You can see these cards for free, you can see the tactical objectives, all the other new stuff, and more importantly, the book they definitely should have included if, like me, you collected 2nd edition or even further back than I was at 1st edition. Do you get a lot in the box? Yes. Is the box worth the price? That is hard to say. Is 3rd edition any good? That's what we're going to wait and see when we play a few games. We shall see. Thank you for watching. Expect more 3rd edition Batman miniature game in the future as we get to grips with this new edition and reach our final conclusions. Ta-ta for now.